Welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm your host, Yokai, and I figured I'd do something different. So, most of my videos are just about, like, the universe of Gundam or how, you should, tackle going, into it, guide videos or reviews of kits or something. And while that's all nice and dandy, sometimes that stuff isn't necessary. So I figured I'd go ahead and start a new series where at the end of every month I will get as much information I can that came out that same month and do a news video. And we'll try and do this at the end of every month, like I said. So there should be 12 by the end of the year. Depending on how much news comes out. The ones I'm going to be focusing on are Gunpla releases or Gunpla news, and of course, anime news and video games. I'm not going to be focusing too much on other news, such as like a Gundam base having a new opening, or like the Yokohama life size one, or the construction of the Freedom Gundam in Japan and China. I'm not going to worry about that. But those are news sources that I'm not really going to be worried about. But if you are interested in any of the news that I talk about here, or if you want to see more news of other things on your own, you can always check out GundamInfo.com. I will put their link in the description if I remember to. And you can check it out from there. Also, I would suggest checking out Gundam Info's YouTube channel. These guys are awesome. And they even have some entire shows on their channel. So if you want to check that out as well, I would suggest go ahead and give them a look. So after all that being said, let's get started with the news. So there was actually a decent amount of news that had come out this month. Not a whole lot, but enough to where it's like, okay, that's pretty cool. At least I have a decent amount of stuff to talk about here. So we have a Master Grade Gan coming out, which is actually really cool in my opinion. He's a grunt suit for the Cosmic Era or for Gundam Seed. And that's pretty interesting because Gundam Seed's really big in Japan and has always been big in Japan. And I'm surprised that they haven't made a Master Grade Gan until now. But the problem is that he won't be coming out until April. So they've announced him this month, but he's not going to be available for purchase, like in actually receiving him until sometime in April. They didn't give you an exact day. They just said April. He'll be 4,730 yen. The problem is that when it comes to how they do prices over in Japan, they include taxes that would also be sales tax in the base price of the kit. So that means if you're an American, I can't really translate this into dollars for you where it would make sense. Because if I said $47, you'd go online and, try and purchase it or pre-order it, which I think you can do. And it would probably be like $43 or $45. That's because you haven't added the taxes yet. So at least for Japanese sales tax or whatever, it's basically $47.30, more or less. For us, I'm not sure how much it will be. We'll have to figure that out once it comes out. And also another Gundam Seed mobile suit is a high grade release. So this is an HG. And it's a Dagger L. So another grunt suit, but this is a high grade. And this is actually for the good guys. So it's basically their version of the GM in Gundam Seed. And it's 1,320 yen. So basically around 13 $15 probably. Again, this includes sales tax, and you would also have to keep in mind that whenever we buy Gundam kits over here, they're automatically more expensive because they have to be imported. So they're going to be more expensive as an American regardless. And that is also coming out sometime in April. Again, don't really know when. I should put some pictures up of the suits right now. I don't really know again when they're going to come out, but hopefully, you guys will find out in the next few months whenever they're going to come out. Alrighty, moving on to the next ones. High grade Gundam Base Limited Zaku 2, 21st century real type version. It is around 2,200 yen or so. That's what I think it says here. I might have wrote it down wrong. But, it's not too expensive. It is just a high grade, so probably around $22 in equivalent money. But you have to remember, again, tax included with that price. You also have the Master Grade Gundam Base Limited. It is the Gundam Epion Endless Waltz Special Coating version. And it's at 1,800 yen. So probably around $88 or so. So it's a bit pricier, but it is a Master Grade. And it's also a different version, like a new type. So it really isn't too surprising that it's so expensive. And finally, another exclusive Gundam Base 1 high grade Gundam Heavy Arms clear color version, 1,650 or so yen. So around $16, probably around 20 or 18 for us. So pretty cool. And they all look really nice in my opinion when it comes to like the pictures. But again, these are just Gundam Base exclusives, and that means that they're going to be hard to get regardless of where you live, because even if you lived in Japan, you would have to already have known about the event, gone early to go to the event, and basically it's some kind of like ticket system from what I understand, where you basically buy a ticket and they kind of put like it into like a raffle, and they will pull them out, and they'll say your name, and then you have to go get your prize or whatever, and you might not get what you want. Although sometimes, depending on the event, you'll get all of the exclusives if your name gets called. So I really don't know how it works on a regular basis. But this is a limited time event, so most likely this is already done with. It started in January 8th or somewhere around there. So it's probably over by now, but if it's not, you can probably find some of these limited edition kits on like secondhand markets, but just remember, you're going to be paying a whole hell of a lot more than what I said earlier. So just keep that in mind. So now we are actually going to have a wave of SDs from Sengoku Saikokuden, the most recent SD show as of right now. They are all 660 yen, so basically they're like $6.60 in American money, of course, tax included. So the price will vary. But there's different ones. I'm not going to say their names. I'm just going to put their names on the screen because I don't want to butcher them. These are all very well respected Chinese, like, warriors that fought, eons ago. And, they're all based around that story of the three kingdoms that we're all too familiar with. So I'll just give you the names of the kits that are coming out. It's a Saikokuden God Gundam, Saikokuden Unicorn Gundam, and a Saikokuden New Gundam. They're all different characters, so their names will be put on the screen. They're all really cool characters too, by the way. Then we're going to have come out the Trinity bike. This one's 550 yen. And finally, another set that I am not even going to begin to pronounce, but I think some of these are basically just like the basic foot soldiers and maybe some like lieutenants or something. And their sets are 550 yen as well. And these are out now. They came out, I believe, this week, from what I understand, sometime probably around the 20th. So these are actually available now if you want to purchase them. If you want all of them, it'll probably only cost you maybe around $40 or so, maybe 30 something dollars to get all of them. As an American, probably, you have to pay for shipping and handling and extra sales tax and stuff like that. But, probably shouldn't take you any more than like $40. So that's actually really cool. And honestly, they all look nice. I really like the set because it's like a group of foot soldiers. And I actually really love whenever they release a kit set of multiple of the same suit, because now you can have like a little army. And that's one of the things that is interesting about Gundam, because even though they release like regular foot soldiers or like grunt suits, it's really hard to army build Gundam because you'd have to not only build the kit but also purchase the kit multiple times in order to army build. So you'd really have to dedicate yourself to one faction. And if you're like me and you can't really do that because you just like all the suits and you want to collect them all, it's a little more difficult to do that. But if you have a set where there's multiple foot soldiers in each one, then that's really cool. But you would have to buy that set multiple times in order to have multiple soldiers of the same soldier, because there's like 3 different ones. I know there's actually a few other different groupings of soldiers you can get, and it says something like there's different like waves or whatever. But they all look really cool, and some of their pictures should be on screen. I really enjoy these guys. They look cool, and that Trinity bike looks amazing. Like when I was first watching the show and the bikes popped up, I really wasn't sure like if I liked it or not. But when it comes to these model kits, these bikes look awesome. I'm not even gonna lie. I would have to buy this bike in one of these other suits because they just look so cool. And that's the thing about these bikes. You can buy a ton of them so everyone can have a bike. That makes it even better in my opinion. And you can customize the bikes by adding some of the armor from the SD Gundam kit itself onto the bike. I don't think I grabbed a picture of that, but if I did, I'll put it up here. And then, like, you can make it look more custom, like it's for that specific Gundam. It's like really cool. But I know a lot of people probably don't care too much about the SD Saikokuden story or type of show or whatever. So I'll just go ahead and end it here and move on. But just so you know, and in case you forgot, they are out now, so you can purchase them as soon as you're done with this video. So we have a new set of kits coming out and a new anime. Both of these are going to be released in April, and unfortunately for people who don't care about SD, it's another SD thing. This is called SD Gundam World Heroes. That's the name of the show and the kit line. So all of these kits are coming from that series. And honestly, I gotta say, the kits look really cool. I'm not going to put a picture of all of them on screen because there's actually quite a few of them. And it would have taken me quite a long time to just download all the pictures. So if you want, you can go to the link in the description below, and if it's there, and Go to GundamInfo.com and check out the pictures yourself if you're interested in any of these kits. They actually look really cool. I wouldn't mind grabbing a couple of these myself, but then again, I'm a Gundam fiend, so like anything Gundam I want. But when it comes to this particular set of Gundam kits, they actually do look really cool. And they're SDs, so they're going to be pretty cheap and they're cute, so you don't have to worry about them being too difficult. And the show itself is also coming out in April, so they come out around the same time. And unfortunately, that's really all we know. We don't know when they're going to come out, and that's basically it. The only extra little bit of anime news that I have is that they do have a new trailer for Gundam Hathaway. Again, this is on Gundam Info, but it's going to be on Gundam Info's YouTube channel. And it's a pretty cool trailer, but it's like not even a minute long, and it's just a trailer to try and drum up hype. Well, I think it does an okay job. I'm also like, okay, but we've been seeing stuff about this since like 2018. So we need a release date. We need a solid this is when it's coming out type of release date, because by now I feel like it should have already been released. But if not, it's probably going to be coming out later this year. We might get one or two more trailers sometime this year, hopefully. And that's really it when it comes to anime news, when it comes to Gundam. And any video game news, not really. There's no new game releases or DLC packs or anything that has been announced on their site. So no game news. So that's sad. Anyways, that's pretty much the end of the video. I just want to go ahead and do something different. Also, I know there's a couple of days left still in January before I can really upload this video. So what I'm going to do is basically I'm going to pretty much like finish the video now and then wait throughout the weekend, obviously, and release it on Monday like I normally do. But right before I upload it, I want to check Gundam Info again just in case there's been any new announcements in the last few days of January. And if there is, I will have a little section at the end where I put an update to let you know any new information that I've discovered about those three particular categories. And if there is, I'll go ahead and tell you. If there isn't, then I'll just upload the video the way it is. So thank you for watching. I appreciate it. And this is your host, Yokai, and I'm out of here. So, update. There was a little bit of information that ended up coming out, I think, Friday or Saturday. I discovered it today before I uploaded, so I went ahead and got the update for you. Some of the information that I had ended up missing because it came out later was that there is a RG Xeon coming out. I believe it's out now. Yeah, it's out now for 6,050 yen. So basically like $60 or so. And then an effect parts for him that's also out now, around 9,900 yen. So that's like $90 for the effect parts, and it gives you quite a bit, and you can do different things with it. So I guess it makes sense that it's so expensive, but at the same time, it's just effect parts, so it's not really that important. And some more SD Psychokuden kits. 660 yen for the Providence Gundam. It's also out now. And to add on, it's really crazy how many of these have come out. It's crazy. The next one, of course, is the Gundam Astray, which they all have, their own unique names like the other ones do. I'm just going to put a picture of of them on there with their names so I don't butcher it, because, it's Chinese warriors that, you should probably show us a little bit more respect towards and not butcher their names. So I'm just going to put a picture of it up. But Gundam Astray, 770 yen. It too is out now. And then finally, the last one is the Wing Gundam, 880 yen. And it's also out now. Now, my question is, I don't understand why the SD ones are so drastically different in price, because with all the others they were pretty much all the same price. So why are these different? Here's this one's $6, this one's $7, this one's $8. Why the price difference? Is it because one has more parts than the other? Is it what is it? I think it might be because some of them are more popular than others, but that could just be a guess. But anyways, that's the update, and I appreciate you watching the end of the video, and I'll see you next time, guys. Every time I think I'm actually done with this video, new information comes out. So right before I uploaded this video, I went to go get the link for GundamInfo.com, and I realized that they actually had more information than I missed. So another new or extra update, if you will, is that there is a Gundam Base Master Grade Gundam Death Scythe Hell EW Endless Waltz special coating limited edition version, of course. Probably based around the same limited edition thing that the other kits were. So this price is 10,450 yen. So he's an expensive boy. He looks really good, but he's expensive, and he's going to be pretty hard to get. He's going to be pretty rare. So now it's actually over. Thank you for watching. And I'm going to have to reconfigure this video and re-upload it. So I'll see you when I get done.